Finally back with another Savage Association episode with Alan the Talent Belcher, my coach for a long time and one of the MMA pioneers in Mississippi. First guy in the UFC from Mississippi, and I think there's only been, four still? Me, you, Chase, and Jason out of the whole state.
We got all the best ones.
Yeah, all of them are down here. But recently unretired. He retired back in, 2013 after fighting Michael Bisping and having a detached retina.
Unretired, I like that.
Unretired. Yeah, not coming out of retirement. What made you do that?
Oh, shit. That's a long story right there. But, yeah, man, we'll get into that. I mean, dude, I thought about it for a long time.
Me and Tyler tried to talk you into it for the longest time.
Yeah.
I don't know what I moved down here in 2016, so it wasn't long after you retired. Like, man, you still got it.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, I really, if you guys would have pushed me harder, if you guys would have really tried to get me to do it harder, you would have,
You think so? You were
I feel
not
like
in great shape then.
Well, yeah, I know. I know that. Well, that's one thing that I always kind of had in the back of my mind. If I get in shape, then I'll do it. I don't want to take a fight and then
have to get in shape. Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't know if I could get myself in shape at that level, So I got in good shape and lost some weight and stuff, and then I was like, all right, I need to do this before I get too old, for sure.
What's crazy is how out of shape you were, and no matter what, I know I'm a smaller guy, and me and Tyler are both smaller than you. But even when you went with Odie, no matter what, even if you were out of shape, we'll hear you wheezing, and you'll never give up those. So that's how we knew you still needed to fight, because if you weren't willing to give up just because you were tired, then we knew you still had to fight.
That's probably like the hardest thing in fighting.
Oh my
right?
God, the worst.
That's getting through those hard times.
That's the reason why I make sure I'm in shape the best that I can be before I get in a fight. I'm not ever scared of who I'm fighting. I can go fight fucking Canelo tomorrow, and I'm not going to be scared. The thing that I'm going to be scared of is getting tired. Once you get tired, then you can't defend yourself. Then you don't know what the fuck's going to happen. So to me, that's personally the most thing that's scary is getting tired and fighting. You were getting tired every single round and still going more rounds and more rounds. So that was pretty impressive to me.
Yeah, I learned a lot in the last 8 years, training with you guys, helping y'all get ready and everything. I got a lot better at wrestling and just being I learned how to be a smarter fighter, because whenever I was fighting, I was a athlete and I tried to force it and really try to go, whatever. And then I got smarter, and then, it all kind of just lined up. I'm smarter now. I can do this before I get, too old. And really the biggest question is always about my eye injury. And people are like, well, you stopped because of the eye injury. How is it that you're coming back now? And really, I just don't care anymore. I'm just and my eye has got a lot better. I thought that my eye was where it was going to be and wouldn't get any better once it healed up. I didn't realize that it was kind of like a brain connection. So learning how to, you can use your eyes, you can practice and get better. My eyesight's got better. Yeah. It's like the doctors are scratching their head, how my eyesight can improve like that,
Yeah.
So.
Is that one of the things Robbie told you is a part of your brain that's outside of your head? He told us the same thing.
Yeah.
Your eyes.
Yeah.
No, I understand the whole part about getting better as you're coaching, because when I moved down here and I started teaching jiu-jitsu, and I was just doing it before I moved down here, I wasn't teaching. Man, it makes you think about every little nick and nat here and there and ins and out, because if somebody asks you a question, you have to be able to explain why. Right. And that's what made me so much better at striking too. When I started teaching people and coaching people, man, it made me think, why do I do this? Why do I need to step here? What happens if I step here and do this and that? And that's made me so much better to where I understand so much more. So what do you feel is different as far as you before, like you said, being athletic in your first time fighting, your first stint, and then now? Other than just using the athleticism, do you feel I feel like you're still in better shape than you were even in this picture right here.
Right, yeah. Well, yeah, I am. I'm in better shape. I've learned how to, I've learned the lifestyle instead of just dieting for your fight and then getting out of shape. That's hard. You don't really have enough time, to do that. So all those, the fitness is better, but overall, I think it's I just learned to be honest with myself. I learned how to overcome the anxiety and stuff, and which it's not like I was when I fought hard. I didn't quit or anything like that, but I made it a lot harder on myself.
Yeah.
By making it too big of a deal.
Yeah.
If you're gonna lose and staying up the night before and then getting yourself hyped up before the fight.
Yeah.
Now I realize that the most important thing in fighting is being in shape and being calm and clear-headed, so you can actually use the skills that you've been practicing. Otherwise, you've experienced it where you having a great training camp, everything's right, you go into the fight, and then you're done. You're like, what did I do in there?
Yeah.
I don't even remember. Like,
Yeah.
all of you just doing all this stupid shit, and it's because your head. So my head's a lot better, and yeah, dude. And my eye, I don't know if it's like 100%, but I just thought one day I was like, I would rather lose this eye completely than like be on my deathbed when I'm an old man and be like, I could have done it. I mean, at the end of your life, you're not really going to care if you got an eye or not.
No. Yeah, see, and I didn't know you personally in your first time of fighting, your first stint, because I didn't know you until I moved down here in 2016. But I knew of you and everything, so I don't know what all you did. But I see you in there, which I'm not able to train now because I have my own injury. But even when I was coaching yesterday, you're in there warming up for 30 minutes to an hour before you even start doing stuff. Like that's something I need to do. I don't warm up. I just go straight into it. And my saying always was, you don't ever see a cheetah warm up before it chases down the gazelle. But I can tell. I mean, especially getting older fighting, then I could cut corners before, and I still can now. But I could see the benefits of you doing it the right way and how it works out long term.
Right.
And you see all the best. Like I was watching. It wasn't even an MMA fighter the other day. It was somebody do a warm up. A basketball warm up with Steph Curry. I reposted on my Instagram story, and the warm up that he was doing before the game took like an hour, and it was just crazy stuff. Him, I mean, and I'm thinking about what I do before I warm up, before I actually have a fight, and it's not just training, and it's like half-ass. And I need to start taking the little shit more serious instead of just the fighter, just the big stuff. I mean, I take my technique and everything serious, but all the other stuff, other than my cardio and all that, but all the little stuff like stretching and warming up and all that, I don't take serious at all. So I need to incorporate that.
It's like any other life lesson. Like you're learning it with your knee injuries and all that. If you are serious about getting really good, you're gonna make the choice to do the right thing. And that's kind of where I'm at now. I'm like, I don't have any more time to waste, so I have to fucking do it perfectly. I have to figure out how to do it right, And what I was doing. This is really what I was working on the other night. I've been warming up a lot, but the new thing I'm on is like getting myself in the state, in the right physiology, have my body loose, and because I've noticed that I've been purposely trying to fight. I did the bare-knuckle, then the 2 boxing, and another bare-knuckle. I want to fight faster so I can start learning, remembering from fight faster, more frequent.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
More frequent because it's not as long to your last one, so you can make adjustments better and kind of see what the difference is. So 4 fights real fast in the last 4 months.
Is that 4 months?
Yeah.
It was only 4 months?
Yeah,
nice.
Well, August, maybe like 5 months, something like that.
Yeah, I know the boxing ones were back-to-back almost.
Yeah, the boxing ones were real close. So doing those close, I'm like, oh, here I am again. So it's very familiar. It's kind of like going to the gym every day. And that's something I haven't done since before I got in the UFC, just like you guys. I was trying to make a run for the UFC, so I was trying to fight all the time. I got to win. So I fought probably 8 or 10 times in 1 year before I got in the UFC. After I got in, it was twice a year for years. And it's like, it's too slow almost, So I took this opportunity being not signed. I was like, I want to fight a lot.
Yeah. I was surprised because I thought the same thing was going to be the case with me because I was fighting 6 to 8 times a year before I got into the UFC. Then I got into the UFC, and I was still fighting a minimum of 4 each year. So I thought that I was happy with that, and I would still like to do that as long as I'm winning. But the only thing about that is the more you fight, the less time you have time to increase what you're learning. You have to always be working on what you're going to do for this guy instead of learning. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's the only downfall in that for me. But for you, like you said,
I'm a free agent, so I can do these boxing matches, and yet the guys that I did fight were under my level, but I knew that going into it. There wasn't much chance to lose against those guys, so I'll address that. I get bashed on the internet for it, but I mean,
I don't feel that way in the bare knuckle aspect.
No,
the boxing.
The bare knuckle guys that I fought, I feel like was a good bit better than them. But bare knuckle levels the playing field when you're fighting a street fighter type of guy. He's got a good
Tony,
chance.
not gonna quit. Yeah, still hits hard.
And he cut me here and here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how'd you feel different in that fight and an MMA fight, or even a UFC fight?
Well, it'd been 8 years since I fought, so there were. I think there was going to be a lot of nerves and stuff anyways, but I feel like maybe I built it up in my head like, I got to be ready for this because I'm going to be nervous because it's been a long time. So once I got out there, I felt pretty comfortable. But the bare knuckle is definitely, there's a different range. There's a different pace.
Yeah.
And like I said, those punches that even with the MMA gloves, the ones that kind of go off of you, the crowd can't really see that they hit you. It almost looks like you didn't really get hit. And you'll come out looking fine. Those were the ones that swelled me up and cut me, just like little. Because he never really hit me. I came out of the fight and my face is swollen. I got the cuts and I had to get stitches. And I'm like, man, he never hit me. What the hell? I got to watch this. I never remember really getting hit.
Yeah.
So bare knuckle has been a mind shift a little bit. I feel like it's you gotta really be able to keep your eyes open and be in there and fight.
Yeah. Another thing is, like you said, the pace, the 2-minute rounds. People think like, oh man, I fight 5-minute rounds, but that 5-minute rounds is at a lot slower pace. That 2-minute rounds, you think you're gonna get in there and you're gonna have the energy to do all 5 of those pretty easy. It's only 10 minutes. It's 2 rounds of MMA, and you get a minute break in between each one of those, as opposed to just 2 minutes, as opposed to 2 minutes over 15 minutes. But the pace is so much higher. It's a lot more tiring because I understand that from me boxing.
Yeah.
3-minute rounds. I was like, oh man, I'd be able to go in there and kill this. And halfway through the third round, usually you do 4 rounds as a pro when you're beginning. I was like, man, what the hell? This should be easy.
Yeah.
But
you know what? My theory is with bare knuckle, they designed it to be more of a street fight, to be more of a brawl. They're trying to make it more entertaining or whatever, right? So the way that you start the fight on the line right in front of the guy, that's kind of where, you're kind of right there, and then there's no time to get your range or whatever. So they're kind of encouraging you to don't find your range, just fight right here.
Yeah. Well, even they incentivize y'all, like, we'll give you an extra $2,000 if y'all stay in the small circle. You know what I mean? I've heard them say that when Chase was fighting, and $2,000 ain't enough for all.
No.
For all that.
You might have to pay me more than that.
Yeah, that's what I was telling Chase. I said, fuck that, move around. But so you fought him, and then your last one, Bubba is a big dude, real heavyweight.
Yeah. Real heavyweight, real knockout power.
Real knockout power. Actually, I hate to bring it up, but actually killed somebody one time in a fight.
Right.
Hurt him, knocked him out, and the dude ended up dying. So I knew you had to have some kind of nerves going into that one. That one was what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And your face, I think you got hit once?
Twice, yeah. I got scratched a little bit. I got hit. I got hit pretty good in that fight. I just kind of bobbed when I was supposed to weave. But those are good lessons to come out of the fight. I got the first round knockout, but I was able to test myself. What if I do get rocked? I'm like, okay, I still got a chin. That's good.
Going into the fight, though, how'd you?
Going into it, I had a lot of people telling me that that Bobo was not on my level and all this. So I had to kind of keep myself grounded and be like, no. First off, it doesn't matter how bad someone is. If they want it and they're gonna come and brawl with you, it's gonna be hard and bare knuckle.
Oh yeah, definitely.
If you could take almost anybody off the street, and if they just come at you and try to hit you, you got to be careful. There ain't no gloves on, So I was expecting Bobo to train his ass off and then come hard at me and kind of bring his best game. So I tried to make sure that I didn't overlook him, and then he did good. I think he'd have been better off not going so hard. He tried to knock me out.
Use his range a little more.
He froze me a couple times because he was going so hard.
Yeah, I've seen him spar with Chase. I've literally coached Chase over here and had Bobo over here as a sparring partner at my house, and he gave Chase a lot of problems. So I was like, man, this is going to be a good matchup. And everybody's like, oh, he'll have a pretty – and I hate when people tell me like that when I'm going into fight. Oh, it's an easy fight.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
motherfucker, it's a fight. anybody can win. And usually the fights that are the hardest are, like you said, the ones that are people you're supposed to beat.
Exactly.
Because you're listening, you try not to listen to the people, but you listen to them a little bit. And, you don't quite train quite as hard as you would if you're fighting Zabit or somebody top level. But yeah, so I was surprised. I mean, not surprised that you knocked him out. You said you were going to. I first saw that happening, but I was surprised at how easily you made it look.
Thanks.
But now you're calling out the champ, Arnold Allen.
Yeah, Arnold Adams.
Arnold Adams.
Yeah. No, I mean, the joke is nobody knows who it is, but Arnold Adams.
Yeah, Chase fought him.
Chase fought him. We know who he is a little bit.
I helped Chase get ready for that fight, and we did everything right, and the fight was pretty easy for him.
He's actually a good fighter.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, 100%. He's got good skills for sure. The division though, I think me and him are better than everyone else skill wise.
Yes.
I feel my experience is probably more than most people just from fighting. I only have 2 bare knuckle fights, but he's a really good fighter. He's a really good fighter. I don't see anyone else that I really need to fight before I fight for the title.
Everybody keeps saying Dylan Kleckler.
The thing with Dylan Kleckler is, this is business. So, I would fight Dylan. We know Dylan. We train with him. All that stuff. We go back. We're homies. Good friends with Dean Toole. So I don't know if that fight will ever happen. I'm not going to be the one that's like, all right, that's the fight I want.
Yeah.
Because I would rather, there's probably somebody else I could fight.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I'll go get
Sam
some more
Shoemaker
experience.
or
something like that. Yeah, get some more experience. Fight, someone like Sam Shoemaker. Get paid and then fight for the belt. That's fine. Kleckler, we'll just see when it happens. If it happens. Yeah.
I understand because whenever they offer me somebody that I know that I'm friends with and have known for a while, I'll always take the fight. I'm never going to turn the fight down, but there's other people I'd rather fight that I don't know when you have the opportunity.
Yeah.
Now, if he was the champ, that's a
for
different
sure. Story. For sure. Yeah, if we're fighting for the belt, one of us got the belt. That makes sense. Ultimately, it's my career. I have to do, like I said, I only have a certain period of time. I have to do everything right. So if that's what we got to do, that's what we got to do. But if it doesn't make sense, why do it?
So what's the end goal with bare knuckle or boxing? Are you want to bare knuckle? Or you just do bare knuckle? Or you want to be the heavyweight champ, light heavyweight champ? Or you want to do boxing too?
Yeah. So my goals have kind of changed here and there. I definitely. I want to win the bare knuckle belt. I've went back and forth.
Which one?
The heavyweight belt.
Yeah,
heavyweight belt. I don't see much of a reason to get the light heavyweight belt. But I'm going to focus on that. At first, that was my thing. I was like, all right, I see a hole in bare knuckle. I can go straight to the top, and and do that and see where it goes. And then kind of got away from that idea for a little bit, and I was looking at other options and whatnot. But now I think that the move is to get the belt, get the bare knuckle belt. And here's why. Because I think I believe in bare knuckle more. Now that I've done it a couple times, I see that the culture of it is, it's more to me about the warrior mentality of fighting. I think when you take the gloves off, there's just something to that.
Oh yeah.
If fighting bare knuckle, Muay Thai or boxing or whatever, it's just another level that you can challenge yourself at. And I think that other fighters will see that too. And so once I get that belt, let's see at that point if I just got that belt because I'm a pretty good fighter and I don't have as much competition there, or is it because I figured out something special in my mind of how to fight that type of fight? And let's see if somebody else from boxing or MMA or something can come into bare knuckle and fight that way.
Yeah.
But I'm also open to fight in any type of sport. I think that's one thing that's kind of keeping me, it's fun for me. Like I want to get back into kicking and wrestling, and I want to fight MMA again.
Are you still under contract with the UFC, or how is that?
No, I'm not under contract with UFC. About I think 3 or 4 years ago, I talked to Mick Maynard and got released from the contract so I could do whatever. I was like, look, man, I want to do boxing. I want to fight in Thailand. You know, like these were all, I wanted to box and fight in Thailand. That was were like my goals before I got in the UFC. Once I got locked down in the contract, I was like, you can't do anything, even like combat jiu-jitsu or something, or you know, whatever. So, so I'm completely free and clear from that. You know, being like UFC champ or something, that's not really on my radar, but you know, I definitely want to fight. I want to fight MMA again and just see how far it goes.
Yeah.
The goal now is just get that belt, and then, you know, get back in there doing MMA with you guys, and then see what I can do in MMA.
Oh yeah, I think you'd do good there. In MMA, would you like to make it back to the UFC if they let you?
Yeah, I think so.
How old, what's the age again?
37.
37? Oh, not too old.
Yeah.
Bellator is still like more around that age, because I don't know why you see a lot of guys that age in Bellator still doing good, but for some reason the UFC, they don't like taking people older. I mean, Tom Brady's 45, still playing in the NFL, well, just retired, but I mean, he's taking big hits every game, but
yeah, for sure. I just want to be smart about it. You know, I was chasing that UFC belt at one time. Now it's about something different to me.
Yeah, no, I see that completely. Like, even when I first moved down here and was getting coached by you and everything, you were cool, but you weren't somebody I wanted to hang out with or would hang out with, really. But I don't know what happened in like the last year and a half or year. Like, you changed and completely different person, and somebody like I would like to come over to the house, let's watch the fights and everything. And like I said, I'd never had anything against you or anything. And you always coached me, and I tried to help you whenever you needed help. But it was just not like I wanted to, like I said, go out and hang out. But no, I changed. And so whatever it is, I mean, I could tell not just from.
Well, the main thing is just being happy, you know, and just having all the bullshit off my plate, you know, with, you know, whatever life stuff and business stuff. So I was like, you know, I was really. It's hard to admit, but I was unhappy for 8 years because I'm a fucking fighter. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
and I tried everything else besides fighting, but it was like, you know, you got to make yourself happy.
Yep. No, that's one thing. Is like whenever I get done, I don't know what I'm gonna do, and people always say, don't let the UFC or MMA be your identity or whatever. But it's so hard not to.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? To quit fighting and then just go out there and do nothing. Like I got into MMA because I couldn't play football anymore. So when I got done playing football, it's like I got to do something to compete. So that's how I got into MMA and jiu-jitsu. So when I get done with this, then how else am I going to compete?
Yep.
But
Yep. That's it, man.
Yeah. So other than that, big fights this weekend: Israel Adesanya, Robert Whittaker. Who do you got in that? It's a rematch.
Yeah. Oh no, I got to go with Adesanya.
Adesanya?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of thinking Robert this time. He looked good his last fight. I just hope. I mean, the first time they fought, he didn't change up really much of anything. He kept coming in sideways karate stance a little bit and always led 1-2, 1-2. If he could just I'm not saying square up more, but change up the looks and don't always just lead with the one, then I feel like he'll open up a lot. And then incorporate the takedowns, which I know he said he's been hearing about. It's like, just take him down. It's a lot harder to take people down than it looks.
Yeah.
Especially somebody that good. So
it's someone that's expecting you to take him down and is that athletic.
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, both of those guys are super skilled, and you see their progress every time is getting better, you know? Adesanya, I think he's just advancing faster, and if he's worked on his holes, where he can he doesn't have a lot of holes, but you know I'm talking more closer range and clinching and wrestling and those type of things, then he can be really dangerous if he can mix all that stuff and not just fight the outside, you know, counter fighting.
Maybe even take Robert Whittaker down just to change it up, because now every time your level changes, then Robert's gonna have to freeze up for a second. It opens up your striking.
Oh yeah, and it's all about like element of surprise. It's not in MMA. You know, it's not about one guy can be way better at wrestling, but if you know he's gonna try to take you down, it's kind of easier, right?
Yes.
And then he doesn't know you're gonna take them down, then you might land a takedown easy.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah.
All right.
Good card.
Well, that was it. I appreciate you coming on, and
Anytime, bro.
Hopefully you get that belt sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
When's the next card? Are they trying to get you on the next card?
It's gonna be probably April.
April.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll be able to train by then or not. I miss training. I know that. I was in there trying to hit pads the other day, and Robbie got on to me. But yeah. So hopefully they get you on that and have you lined up with Arnold Adams.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, we're gonna be training a lot. Like I'm gonna give this another at least 3 years. I'm thinking 3 to 5 years. So we got a ways to go. We're gonna be doing a lot of training.
Oh yeah, I'll be there. You already know that.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna wrap that up. Alan, the talent Belcher. Do you still use that whenever you fight, the talent?
I like it. Yeah.
Still like
it? Yeah. I mean, I don't. It's not something I'm like, oh, you need to call me Alan.
Yeah.
But people, people say it all the time. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's cool.
Well, I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, bro.
All right.
Okay, what about this one, B? We got that, hey, sleight of hand, no magic tricks, and that adrenaline, well, that's the fix. Unless it gets my heart pumping, ain't no competition. Anybody who want it can come get some ambition, baby. Where there ain't no ceilings. If you feel some type of way, hey, get out your feelings. It's a duel like Yu-Gi-Oh! Maximilian. Talking dollars, that's the minimum. The max a billion. Whoa, bees killer in my corner. We armed with them bars. Get the bump and set it off like alarms in them cars. Before you think about it, stop in the octagon. Before you end up getting dropped in the octagon. Respect is in order and you better respect it, or it's off with his head. Guillotines for breakfast. Good night. I done seen successes and my seed successors of this legacy. You're looking at a king, a legend.